Good evening. Not morning, but good evening. You thought you got away with it. You thought you were going to have a day without me. Check out my background. Check out what I did in my trailer. So I took my trailer out. I painted that Snorelord logo on it, and then I went and got it washed at the Blue Beacon and I took a picture. So that's what I did today. And I want to thank Sterling Trucking Delivers for helping me paint that on the trailer. He came over here all the way from wherever he lives, Nevada or someplace weird, and he came and he painted my trailer. He took a spray can and did a really good job. Check it out. He also did the logo on the door. Isn't that cool? So he also did another one. You guys want to see that? Let's see. He also did this one. Let me show that. Share screen. This one, wheel burner, if you're watching, this is evidence that I have driven a truck in the caves. So there you go. That one looks pretty cool too. So we might switch back and forth. Maybe this one will be the one for evening live feeds, and then this one that we're on now is for the morning feeds. No, it's spray paint. It's spray paint, Don. WCF, it's spray paint, right? So we can just leave this up like that. We can just do that. What's up, everybody? I was not feeling motivated this morning, but and more importantly, there was other things I had to accomplish. Jeff's got me at the helm of the carrier, so I am in control of like trucking, kinda. Different on both sides. When did you do a run? I used to write. Look, that was partially where my name came from. Number one, I look like a caveman. Number two, I am in and out of Springfield Underground all the time. This is evidence. And yeah, he did a good job. Now he put the filter on. I didn't do that part, but I thought he did a good job. And yeah, paid him some money on Cash App. After he left and flew back to Nevada or wherever he lives, and good to go. So Sterling, thank you very much. Thank you guys. I think it looks pretty cool. Truck's a little dirty. But yeah, if only. See, here's the thing. This is kind of what ties in. So if I had my own authority, it would not be called Snorelord. Wouldn't that look cool if it was though? Right? Wouldn't that look cool if it was? Because it feels pretty good to have your name on the side of the truck and trailer. That'd be pretty cool, right? So try stealing that trailer with the big Snorelord logo on it. You just call the cops like, "Hey, my trailer's been stolen. What's it look like?" Well, it's white with big huge letters that say Snorelord. What? What's it say? Stormlord? What? Love the Snorelord trailer. See, Wilburner, this is a cave. You have to see. Here's what you need to do, Wilburner. You need to take a load all the way from Canada, take it all the way into Springfield and deliver in Springfield Underground. We'll hang out. We can't do a live feed from down there because there's no signal. But, you could steal it. You probably could be like, "Oh, there's a bearded guy with a heavy metal shirt pulling a Snorelord trailer." Yeah, that's normal, right? That's normal. So, anyways, thanks to Sterling. So this will be my background. Of course, then we got the one that we're on now. That one, the infamous Fresh from the Blue Beacon there in Joplin, Missouri. As you can see, there's the Flying J right around here, so that's the Flying J. So on this end, at the front of the truck, I'm all opposite. Who cares? Anyways, good evening. We are not drinking coffee. We're drinking Great Value Hydrate electrolyte water. Why? Because I'm an idiot. But anyways, let's talk about something. I was listening to some stories today, so it's been a pretty busy day, and I want to relate something to you. Okay, so we'll look at some comments and we'll talk about this. We'll get some more people in here. I know that evenings are not usually my best time. You know, everybody else is live and the trolls come out and all this stuff. But hear me out on this. We're not going to be like 2 hours or nothing either. But maybe you'll get some nuggets. Maybe you'll call me an idiot. Maybe you'll like, Steve, this is the greatest thing you've ever done. Either way, you're right. So let's go. Don Schonger, hello. Jose, what's up? Let's see how long I can go before I accidentally say good morning. This Trucking Life, good evening. Grafton, what's up with all the emojis or emoticons? My name is Nobody. You ought to hang out with Nothing Witty. Michael Anderson, hola. Don is in shock. David Edwards, hello all. Good morning all. You almost got me. You almost got me. Wheelburner, I did this for you, Wheelburner, because I know you like the late night stuff better. The sun just went down. It did. It did, especially here in Missouri. It was a nice day, although windy. It's been a nice couple of days here in good old Mo. CDN Freight Broker, good evening. Nothing witty. Only 11 hours late. Yes, I am terribly, terribly late. This Trucking Life with the horns. Good evening, Matt K. Hope you're doing all right. Grafton, Michael Anderson. Whoa. Love the Snorelord trailer. So do I. Nice background. Looks cool. Free advertising. That'll turn heads. That ain't spray paint. That's professional. Not. Look, Sterling's talented. He actually flew here. I showed him. I gave him the secret hiding spot of where my trailer is, and I had him tag it. Now he didn't. I had him do the side of the truck, which the Like Trucking logo is still on the side, so we're still good there. So, how narcissistic is this? Take up the whole trailer. Don says, nice. That's very cool. Different on both sides. When did you do a run? It is different on both sides. Well, I figured Sterling was here for a day. Just do it all at once, right? Do one side one side another. And all I had to do was pay him $20. Can you believe that? Pigtail, what's up? That's pretty awesome, says David. You could steal it. Who says you can't have a different name other than the carrier name, especially in a trailer? You got to put leased to or leased by or operated by, that kind of thing. You got to do that. Rest Area Raccoon, you're looking very cute as usual. Nuggets. Good morning, Mr. Charles. Mr. Charles must have just woke up. Hey, by the way, it's 6 a.m. Yeah. So if you're just waking up, good morning, sunshine. You're just going to start your day. Will the Nuggets be green? Probably. Everyone should hang out with me. I'm flipping awesome. Oser, good evening. Every trailer has a pigtail. That is true. That is no. That's not true. That's not true at all. Every truck should have a pigtail that goes to the trailer. Come on, man. Come on. Looks like it's going on concert tour. It is. The Snorelord concert tour. But I'll give you guys a funny story before we go into my little discussion. I was going to call it a rant, but people are like, Steve, you don't really rant because I'm not like waving my arms, throwing things or nothing. So I guess it's not a rant. But anyways, so I was a wee lad, about 21 years old, and I was working this. I had worked second shift for so long at this restaurant, and finally I scored the Monday through Friday coveted 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. And I had to get up at like 4 though to do it because you had to get on the bus because I was poor, didn't have enough money for a car, so I rode the bus, and I had long days because get home about 5. And then about 7, I would take the bus again to band practice, and then one of the bandmates would give me a ride home. Made for some long 16-hour days. So this truck driving thing's pretty easy, right? Because of that. But anyways, I remember I fell asleep after work one night. After work one day, I got home, fell asleep, and I was so out. So, back then I had untreated sleep apnea, hence the name, right? Hence the name. And but every now and then, if I was in the right angle, like in a chair or something, I wouldn't snore. So therefore, I get into a deep sleep. And those deep sleeps, they freak you out. And I woke up, and the sun was just at that right spot where I thought it was morning. I thought I was late for work. So I actually called my job, and one of the waitresses answered, and she's like, "Hello." I'm like, "Yeah, this is Steve. Can I talk to so and so?" And like, "Okay, hold on." And while I'm waiting, I'm looking around. I'm like, "Wait a minute. It's not 6 a.m. It's 6 p.m." And I, I hung up. Yeah, I almost called in late for work 12 hours early. So that was the thing. So anyways, so anybody who just woke up and you think, "Oh, whoa, Snorelord's live and it's almost 7 o'clock," and you look at the sun and you're not thinking about west or east, that could happen. So, uh, nice Photoshop. It's not Photoshop. He just tagged it. This Truckin' Life wins. What did he win? What I miss? T-Bone, what's up? Was that the short bus? Ha, funny. The pride of knowing you caught on the fastest, right? Oh, okay. He caught on that it was Photoshop. No, it's not Photoshop. Quit lying, nothing witty. Anyways, all right. So 1412. All right. Here we go. If you're an owner operator and you leased on to a carrier, I don't care if it's Landstar, Schneider, Like Trucking, which by the way, we've got a couple empty trailers. Any of them. Any of them, right? You are probably getting a percentage of your line haul revenue. For example, I get 80% of my line haul revenue. Another of the line haul revenue, not mine, but okay? So if I do a load for $1,000, 800 is owed to me minus whatever deductions. Now, some carriers want to deduct everything and your mother out of your settlement, and other carriers like us, we just take out fuel if trailer rental and insurance if you so desire to get your physical and bobtail through us. And we have a pretty good fleet rate. Oh, and you're occupational. So in other words, you'll have some carriers that are like, "Oh, you get 98%," but then they nickel and dime you on everything. Then you got some carriers that, like us, that they don't take hardly anything out. And then you got carriers that will do 80% and still nickel and dime you on everything. And then you got carriers that will take 65%, or they get 65, or you get 65%, and they still nickel and dime you. So we've talked in the past, especially on Jeff's channel, about what is that number, right? So if you get and we're going to use $1,000 because math is hard. It makes it easy. I know some of you aren't doing these $1,000 loads. Some of you are doing these long $5,000 loads or whatever. And some of you are doing these short $600, $700 loads, which, by the way, no, never mind. I won't get into that. But anyways, but $1,000 makes the math easy. So if you're at Like Trucking, you get 80% of $1,000. You get $800. If you're at Landstar, that same load for 1,000, you get 650. Now, here's the part that's going to throw everybody off. And I want some input on this. Okay, this is an open question. Do you look at the carrier as taking, in other words, let's say you're at Like Trucking, okay? Do you look at the carrier taking 20%? Or do you look at it as you're getting, as a contractor, 80% of line haul revenue? That's a good question, because I think that your perception of that can be a key to whether or not you're satisfied with your carrier. Let me explain. You might sit there and say, well, I give up 20% to Jeffrey Like. Okay. Now, if you look at it like that, you might sit there and say, well, what does he do? What does he do that I can't do? What's his expenses? Well, let me explain that. The carrier is taking a lot of the risk. Now, not all carriers are built like us where we have contract, or we have, all spot. There are some carriers that have contract freight. If you come over to Like Trucking, this is not a recruiting video, but if you come over to Like Trucking, you have 6 years of carrier history that's coming with you. There's hardly a broker out there at all that won't take us. We can afford to be selective. There's a lot of carriers or a lot of brokers that we won't use because they're denied by the factoring company. But when you have 6+ years, you have, and here's what I'm noticing as a dispatcher. A lot of brokers they're being picky about your carriers. They want you to have inspections now. They want you to have 2 years. They want you to have 250K cargo. They want you to have occupational or general liability. Not general liability. Maybe that's the term. They want you to have inspections. I know people have had 3 years with their carrier and never had an inspection. Broker won't use you all of a sudden, right? And so if you look at it like the carrier takes 20% away from me, that's a perception thing. Because, for example, we pay for cargo liability. We pay for the ELD. So if you don't have one of our rental trailers and you have all your own insurance, your settlement only shows minus fuel. So for that $800 minus $200 in fuel, you net $600. Is that right? Yeah, okay. So now, what's the insurance cost? So for those of you who think your carrier is taking, go and do get an insurance quote. See how much that costs. Your insurance for your own authority for one truck and trailer is going to range, depending on your years of experience and how nice of a truck you got. You're looking at anywhere from $10,000 to $30,000 for 1 year's of insurance. I know people that are paying 10, and I know people that are paying 30 for one reason or another. And so when you do that $1,000 load, all that gets taken out of it, right? If you factor, that's 3% that gets taken out. So you walk around saying, "Oh, I'm making 97% on my own numbers." No, you sit there and say, I make all the money. I know people that net, or I'm sorry, I know people that gross over $1 million. There's a couple of local businesses here in town I know that they gross $1 million, but are they millionaires? No. So now, most contracts state you get X amount percentage of revenue. Now, the new Schneider contract, the all-in rate, I don't think they give Sean Fairman. If you're, I see in here, maybe correct me if I'm wrong. If you're on that program, but the all-in rate, they don't even give you a percentage anymore. And the it's all perception, right? I lost my train of thought, but it's how do you look at that, right? Now, what would red flag? What would be a red flag for me is if you sign a contract stating that they can just choose what they can give you out of the revenue. What do you deserve? We all know that that word deserve goes down some very very bad paths. If you don't believe me, just watch the news. But you have to take that in consideration. You know, it's a partnership, and you can have that discussion. Well, for 20%, what do they do for me? Well, number one, they're filing all the paperwork. They're filing your IFTA. They're handling your insurance. They're handling the cargo liability. They're taking the risk if something goes wrong on that load. They're providing the ELD. They're providing the platform to make money. They're providing, it's a provide. That's the thing. So if you're a carrier, if you feel like your carrier's not providing anything, then maybe it's a good idea to get your own numbers, and then you will see firsthand what they provide. Some carriers have trailers. They provide trailers free of charge. Or is it really free? Depends if you consider it part of the insurance or the part of the percentage, I'm sorry. So like if you're at Landstar, you could sit there and say, well, 35% off my 100%, that Landstar provides me a freight base, trailers, safety department, sales team. The list goes on. It to me, here's how I look at it. I can sit there and go to a carrier that might pay me 90%, but if they're nickel and diming me on everything, am I really ahead? You got to do the math. Most people don't do math. And if you're the carrier owner, well, you have to make a profit, right? There's got to be a profit. If Jeff was to break even on every truck, would he be doing this? No. So it's the same mentality. It says, well, how much is the broker making? They're getting 40%. 40% of what? Do you know the number? Right? So, you know, it's all perception. Let me get to the comments here. All right. Wow, you guys have been You guys have been commenting like crazy. Jerome, what's up? I get 100% with my carrier. That's funny. Oh well, you are. Are you the carrier? Yes, he is. But out of your 100, you're paying more bills, and you know, I'm getting the revenue. I am paid by the mile, but if I was a percentage paid driver, I would look at it like I was getting 80% of the line haul revenue. There you go. That's essentially what it is, right? Because that's exactly what it is. That sounded redundant. Good question. Depends if you think the glass is half full or half empty. So a lot of it's perception, trucking life, right? A lot of it's perception. How do you look at that? And if you're constantly worried about what other people are making over what you're making, that's a horrible way to live, in my opinion. You know, and that's a poverty mindset. Oh, that guy with the Corvette over there, he makes a lot of money. He can afford to give me something. That's what keeps you in poverty, is that kind of entitlement mindset. I look at it as getting. I look at them as I get 65 pulling their bald tire leakers. But that trailer pull is so awesome, Sean. Depends on the quality of rate, lane, and back end support. There you go, CB. That's. There are expectations from the carrier, and there are expectations from the contractor. My apologies for being late. Just finished hosting my first YouTube video premiere, not trucking related. Okay, Buck Brown. Good luck with that. Fran, if you can actually see what you're getting, then it shouldn't be a problem. That is true, Fran. That is 100% true. See what I did there? If you are working for a percentage, you better be able to see your original rate cons. You should have a copy of your original rate cons. Too many times have I had people call me and say, dude, they're photoshopping my rate cons, man. I know this load pays more. I said, do you really though? Most people don't understand that. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. But there are carriers that will not send you the original rate con. If that's the case, get away quick, because you can't trust them, because you're not in control of your business. I just think that deductions should be in that percentage, though. Well, it depends, right? So if you're getting 98%, which there are carriers that will pay that, they're taking their deductions after the 98. So it just depends on how the deductions are set up. It's a perception thing. I look at my percentage because I figure RPM with carrier rate. Clyde, evening. Jerome, what's up? Why didn't I get a notification? I don't know, Dennis. I got a notification. Rates are crap again. These agents hired by brokers are a bunch of F boys. Can't even talk to these idiots. I couldn't talk to anybody today. I tried helping somebody out today, and I couldn't get anybody to answer the phone, answer an email, and they were literally asking for half of the 15-day value. And I was like, really? We're doing this again? So the ton of fees kills me. My last carrier charged me for everything and didn't fulfill their end of the deal. Also started finding me for things not in their contract. Yeah, that's a huge red flag. So I hope you got away from them. I had a broker reject me today because we require a carrier that's hauled a load with us before. Catch 22. On certain high value loads, they're going to want that. So you'll have to tell me who the broker is later. I've never had a broker request my inspection. Who does that? Chop Tank. Chop Tank will ask for that. Hub Group will ask for that. Arrive Logistics. They want to see an inspection on your MCS. Going to Clarksville, Arkansas, or Tennessee? People should not be worried about what the carrier is making. They should be concerned about getting what they ask for and need to stay in business. I agree with you, Roman. Fuel prices are going back up, but they're going up slowly. No, they're not trying to give you shock and awe. They're just trying to nickel and dime you. Next thing you know, a month later, you're at $1 higher and you didn't even realize it. Once a truck reaches 5 years old, the carrier I'm leased on to now requires a level 1 tractor inspection each quarter. That is probably good. Most carriers do that regardless of the truck age. If you got a new truck, it's an easy breezy thing, but a new truck can put you out of service just as quickly as an old truck. I nearly paid $18,000 for 13 Cascadia and a 23 Wabash dry van, first year authority. That's quite a bit. So some of the things that affect your pricing on insurance is number 1, your credit, number 2, your experience, number 3, your vehicles, and where you live. Where you live, yeah, and your credit. That's a big part too. $20K a year for insurance. Wow. That all-in rate is BS. I've had on specific loads that are broken for me. I had not hauled enough loads for that particular customer, knowing that they will know when they ask for your MC number. What I hate is they'll negotiate and then bring up the MC number. That's why some brokers will ask your MC number right off the bat, because they want to know who they're dealing with. Dennis, if you're paying your carrier all kinds of monies, then you must have a. Dennis, I saw what you did there. What kind of insurances are we talking about? Cargo liability. You have to have that for your, and then of course your bobtail, physical damage, general liability, and then occupational, and then trailer transfer. So like if you are hauling other people's trailers, you're going to need that, and then reefer. Reefer's got a separate charge. I think XPO got a good deal. No percentage all in. I'm still on legacy. I leave when they take that away. You're still on legacy. No percentage on the all in rate. So yeah, that's so what determines the rate, right? How do you plan off of that? The 2080 split the carrier covers factoring. Yes, that's part of it. The only thing that matters is net percentage. There you go. Good evening from Pilot in Hagerstown, Maryland, picked up in New Jersey today. Shannon, when you took your dog for a walk, which I hope you did around that Pilot, did you see the ducks? Did you see the oh wait, hold on, it depends. Did you pick up, are you at the one off of 81? Or are you on the one off of if you're on the one where it's a big U, like kind of a square U, that's the one that's got the Hagerstown ducks. They like to hang out there. I pay 3% for trailer. That's not bad. It's up to the contractor to negotiate the best deal for themselves. Bottom line, if it's not up to your standards, negotiate more. Find someone that will meet your needs. That's good saying there, Stuart. The higher the percentage, the more you'll be screwed. Brian, that's a good way to put it. Buck Brown, liking my deal. Carrier supplies trailer and all of its maintenance at no cost to owner operators. That's a good deal. Depending on what your percentage and what you're making off that. Now, if you have no control, like Schneider, you go to pick up a load at Schneider, and you find 2 bad tires on it. The door's all screwed up. Schneider makes it easy. You pull into any shop, and boom, it's done. Right? There's no back and forth bickering or whatever. There's no approval. You just do it. Like if you go to a Wingfoot with Schneider trailer, they just do it. It's approved. No problem. Same thing with Landstar and the 120-day inspections. So, and what's that worth, right? So let's say that you had to pay $600, $700, $800 a month. Convoy's charging like $1,100 for dry vans to rent them for a month. And then don't even get me started on some of the leasing companies and their fees when you turn the trailer in, or they want 3 or 5 year lease. You got to put the money down, and if you end the lease early, you're paying for the whole 3 years right then and there. He who has the trailer makes the money. There's a lot of headaches being the carrier. So many government agencies wanting their fair share. I'm learning of taxes I've never even heard of. Yes. Yep. Cool trucking. Good evening. Comparison is the thief. CB, that is absolutely true. Comparison is the thief of happiness, right? Poverty minded. Yep. Percentage. Man, I'm really behind on comments. I apologize. Percentage doesn't matter. How much do you keep is the only number I care about. There you go, Brian. That's part of that mindset. That's part of that perception. In a perfect world, 80-20 after fuel. Well, the world isn't perfect. I don't know. I don't seem to have any problems getting decent rates. I've gotten decent rates with reefer in the last few days, but today was looking for a needle for a haystack, and so, you know. Ever work with Integrity Express Logistics Brokerage? I believe so. Yes, hot seat. I tell people you hook a SFI truck to a 65% leaker, you better be a runner. This place will show you to count pennies. Jose, I couldn't get a $1.50 today. I'm getting outbid on this. Yeah, people are getting desperate right now. It's do or die. I always had luck with them. Hot seat. I talked to Schneider Recruiter in December. He said 75% of the ICs were on the all-in board. Eventually, they're going to take away the legacy board. That's my prediction. So here's what Schneider's going to do. This is just an opinion. I don't know anything. I'm not, but this is how Schneider works. They will test the waters. And if they feel they're going to lose, they need to get that 75% up, right? So if they can get 80 to 90%, where they can afford to lose 10%, if they are forced to switch, that's when they'll switch. When they can afford the risk, that's when they'll switch. So just know that. Oh, you're on the one off 70. Yeah, I don't think that's the one with the ducks. Thank you, Stuart. Taking a load from them in Chicago tomorrow. So far, so good. Yeah, I haven't had any issues with them. Company drivers don't do pre-trips or post-trips in my experience. That could be the issue you had with Schneider. Why would you if you don't have any skin in the game? That's part of it. But, what do contractors feel they get for their 20%? Get a lot, in my opinion. Speaking of trailers, did you see those reefer trailers for sale I sent you? No. You sent me a truck, but you didn't send me any trailers. I think Marty told me the other day that he has some reefer trailers. But anyways, guys, I thought I'd just, bust out a live feed. I don't think I'll be going live too much this week. I've got a very busy week ahead of me. Like tomorrow I've got a doctor's appointment, and then I've got to deal with like trucking stuff, and then I might be hanging out with a famous YouTuber tomorrow night. So, and then we'll see what Wednesday brings, right? If I do go live, it'll be a little bit earlier than 7, and it won't be for long. So, yeah, if you want to put the link here, Cool Truck, and I'll well, you can't. You could send me the link, and I can put it up. Now, as far as buying a reefer, you guys got to keep in mind that we're in the worst part of the reefer season right now. So I'm seeing the reefer rates drop a little bit this week. But multiple stops, people. That's the way to go. You got a pretty fair deal here at Dart. Oh, I just started watching you. I was excited for Coffee with Snorelord. Yeah, I at least will not be live tomorrow. Maybe Wednesday. It just depends on what the carrier needs. My job comes first. You guys don't pay me enough to do this as my main job. Hey, buddy, just wanted to jump in and say, hope all is well. Whamma Jamma, how are you doing, man? Haven't seen you in a minute. Probably because I'm going live when you're sleeping. But Snorelord treats us like family. I try. Morning all from New Jersey. Also getting to the bottom of the used market, I suspect. Look, patience will have reward, right? You know, if you want, look, here's the deal. If you want to change trailer platforms, do all your research. Look at your gross per mile and also look at your net per mile cost, gross per day, gross per month, all that stuff. You got to look at the gross and the net. If you are paying 30% more in expenses but only get 20% more of your line haul revenue, guess what? That's probably not a good deal. And that's what a lot of people discovered with flatbed this year. Everybody went and got the new flatbed trailer and the headache racks and all the gears and binders and everything, only for the rates to drop like crazy once everybody flooded the flatbed market. So now you've got more money into the equipment and you're only making it you're making as much as you're not making that 30% more than van. You're only making about 20% more, but you've increased your cost by 30% more. That's kind of how you have to look at that. I had an opportunity to buy a reefer trailer this year and I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't. So, but I know people that have bought a reefer trailer and are doing very well. So it just depends on what you're willing to do. It's reefer has you at odd times. It has you in odd places. So you just gotta do your research, do some load planning. Look at if you're already a carrier on the DAT board or 123 low board or whatever. Look at the rates. Look at the posted rates. Don't look at the 15-day average. Look at the posted rates. What are they posting? And what are if you usually can negotiate 20% more than posted rates, then factor that in. But you also have to factor, I would always do a business plan off the posted rates because you can at least get that. Anything you get after that is bonus. So if all the loads you're looking at in the areas that you want to run is only offering $600 a day on posted rates, don't sit there and think that, well, I can buy a more expensive trailer or truck or whatever because I think I can negotiate to 800 a day. No, that's not how it works. Yeah, nobody really does reefer this time of year because they're still broke from Christmas. You got to wait till the end of tax season, says Dennis. Yes, used equipment should start going down. We'll see. What we're kind of banking on too. Midwest Mike, hello. Do a spreadsheet. Know your numbers. Multi-stop reefer is highly profitable. I agree with that. Look, multi-stop anything is highly profitable, whether it's step deck or a van even. Need help figuring spreadsheets out? So here's something that you can do. So Big Rig CO used to give out a free spreadsheet on his YouTube channel. I think you can email him; he'll send it to you. But also you can hire somebody at Fiverr, and they'll make a spreadsheet based off of what you want. You can have it as detailed or as general as you want. And there's a lot of YouTube tutorials that will teach you how to do that as well. But if you don't even want to do that, there are programs like Trucking Pro and Trucking Office that are trucking specific. How many times can I say trucking in a sentence? And those will help you as well. Every time I come to this tank wash, they always have a crap attitude. I think there's something in the water here in New Jersey. Pneumatic Brit, there is. I-44, Oklahoma, eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking. Well, wave at me when you come by if you're heading to Missouri. Yep. They're going to do what says they can do or whatever, something like that. I screwed that up. TBTs is in the house. I'd Hancock Truck Plaza off of 68, a good place to park. Okay. Jackknife, what's up? Is it a good place for parking? I meant. Are you going to be on 68 again? That's going to be fun. I don't know. I've been on 68 once. But generally that area it's not too bad. Awesome sauce. Thank you. Just finished having a one-on-one with Oklahoma's finest. Uh-oh. TJ, what's up? You're in Oklahoma City. Delivery at 1:30 a.m. Are you AWG Cool Trucking? Is that where you're at? I bet you're AWG. I'm going to wait for that answer. Hope you made it out without a fine. Yeah. Did you get a ticket? Did you get a warning? Did they slap? Yep. AWG. I got to love AWG. I've been there twice. Just don't go to the back row by the white Volvo, Shannon. Yeah, beware of the white Volvo. I-68's a lot cheaper than running the PA Turnpike. That is true. But when I worked for a company that paid for the tolls, yeah, I'm taking the toll. 60 and a 68, just a warning. 68 and a 60. They've been getting everybody with that construction zone. They're nailing people on that because I had a buddy of mine call me. He was like, "Man, I got pulled over in Oklahoma on the turnpike." I'm like, "Really? You're doing above 75? How do you do that?" He was like, No. It was in the construction zone." I'm like, "Oh, that'll do it." And then the small towns on the speed bump of many miles that they call US 69, you got to watch those speed traps there. They don't give you warnings there. AWG in Kenosha, Wisconsin is no fun. So there's none of them are fun. None of them. Not one. Not the one here. I once spent 10 hours here at the one in Springfield. You hear that, famous YouTuber? If you're watching, I once spent 10 hours at the AWG here in Springfield. Is the 7670 Turnpike good? I don't remember. Yes, it is. If you're willing to pay the price, there are plenty of good travel plazas and plenty of pullover spots, plenty of places to park on the 76 to 70 Turnpike. At least between New Stanton and Mechanicsburg or Reading, maybe. But just know that I-68 ain't no joke with long downgrades. It is. It's a fun road for a motorcycle. It depends on the warning. If it's local, usually they don't. But I always run the PA Turnpike because Schneider paid the tolls on my old contract. I wish I was Paulsboro a lot better than Keysby, which here I am. Yeah, as long as they're paying the tolls. That was one of the benefits of the old contracts at Schneider. Isn't 69 tribe territory? I don't know. I think probably. The AWG north of Ogden is also a bugger. Yep, been there too. Trucking office is awesome. I love it. AWG pays like $24 an hour to work in their warehouses. It's so hard to understand why they're always shorthanded. Their union, number one, that's part of it. Unions are picky about who they hire on. Oh yeah, those guys in Keysby, they drink the water straight out of the trailer drain. That's funny. But anyways, guys, I appreciate everybody coming in. If you don't mind, hit the like button, hit subscribe if you're not subscribed. You kind of have to be subscribed if you want to comment. But anyways, we got some good things coming up, I think. So I hope you enjoyed the new background. And thanks again to Sterling. I know you'll watch this on the replay. Thank you, Sterling, for what you've done. And for flying out here, tagging my trailer, allow me, and we went for a ride. We took a cruise and we took the truck and trailer to get it washed after he spray painted it, and then I took the picture. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. Again, live feeds are going to be few and far between this week because I've got actual work to do. So with that being said, strength for today, hope for tomorrow. We'll get through it all. We'll get through this, no problem. Later.